Morning.
Oh, thanks so much.
How are you?
Thank you.
Use your phone.
Oh, it's in, morning. Guys, sorry, can we just move the phone to the side because it interferes into the. No, it just interferes with the microphone.
Cheers, Josh.
Thank you. No, it just needs to go to the microphone. Thank you.
Oh, I can't get.
It's okay. So, morning everyone. Hope everyone's well. The camera's okay at the back. We'll kick off with the live section, then go into 10:30 tonight. So we'll go to Jamie from Sky.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning, Mikel.
Morning.
If I could just start by asking about some players potentially returning from injury.
Yeah.
Lewis, Skelly, Saliba, Ben White. Can you give us an update on those three?
Yeah, with Miles, there is nothing serious on the scan, so it will be a matter of today have a meeting with the medical staff. We have a training session, whether it's too early or not, and with Willie, something similar as well. I think definitely be in for next week. This week, let's see how it goes.
Ben White still
not available, no.
Not available, but potentially Saliba and Lewis, Skelly tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Obviously, there's so much noise outside. Arsenal need to sign a forward. Arsenal need to sign a forward. And I know it's not like broken records when we ask you about that, but you clearly don't share that same sentiment. Do you think it is essential that you sign a forward, or would you be very happy?
Sorry, I don't share what?
The same sentiment that you have to sign a forward this month, or do you?
Have I ever said no to a striker?
No, but you don't feel it's a necessity, do you?
How do you say that?
You do feel it's a necessity.
I don't understand the question.
Okay. I'm saying so many people outside the club seem to think that Arsenal have to sign a forward this month.
So what is my opinion?
Yes.
That's what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, my opinion is clear. We lost two very, very important players, Bukayo Saka and Gabi Jesus. So we lack goals, we lack people, we lack options in the front line. It's clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you think it's essential that you have to be in forward then?
If we can get the right player, that's what we are actively looking at it. Yeah. Any player, no. Someone that makes us better and has an impact in the team. It's clearly that for the period that we lost them, ideally, we need some help because we were very short already and we're even shorter. But the team still copes with that. But we have to do what is right for the club.
If the window were to close and you hadn't brought in a forward option?
That's an option because it doesn't depend on us. It doesn't depend just on Arsenal or Mikel or our will. It depends on the market and many other factors.
And is there work going on at the moment? Have you identified targets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you're limited by the fact that you can't bring in a domestic loan. Would you consider the possibility of sending Neto or Sterling back to their parent clubs if a domestic loan?
We're not thinking about that.
That's not an option.
We're not thinking about it.
Obviously, this weekend is a reverse of the opening day of the season fixtures. When you look at where Arsenal were there as opposed to where you are now, how do you think you've changed as a side since then?
I think we are a much better size than at the start of the season. Much better.
In what sense?
In every sense, because we have, first of all, because we have evolved a lot as a team. We have some very important experiences. The way we have competed throughout the last 6-7 months with everything that happened is outstanding, I think.
Okay, Roger from Premier League.
Hi, Mikel. Just on a similar theme, I mean, you played Wolves at the start of the season. Different manager has come in since then. Do you relish that challenge of facing a new manager and somebody maybe?
Well, he's been in now for a few weeks already, so we already know. I know Victor very well from previous clubs as well, and what his ideas are, and it's very clear how he sets the team. I think he had a really good impact in the team, and it will be a really tough match tomorrow because they are a really well-coached team, and especially there, they are a difficult side to beat.
How do they differ under Pereira from the team that you faced at the start of the season already? Have you noticed a difference in the short time he's been in charge?
Well, in regards, first of all, to the structure and the organization that they use is different. There are certain very clear principles what they want to achieve with and without the ball, as well as certain players that they are in different moments. At the start of the season, they were in a certain moment. Now they're in a different moment as well. So everything, it's important.
they've lost 3 in a row and they've conceded 3 in each of those games. Do you sense that their priority may be just to be as compact and difficult to break down as possible rather than playing on the front foot, but therefore obviously making it tougher for you?
Well, they've done it differently. They've done it differently throughout matches, regardless the opposition and regardless as well results. So it tells a lot about their intentions as well. So we'll have to understand very quickly what kind of game they want to propose and what is good for us.
One of the players that gets talked about there is Cunha, of course. He's been linked with several clubs, including Arsenal as well. What is it about him? What threat does he pose? What sort of a danger would he be?
Yeah, I prefer not to talk about an individual. I talk about the collective qualities that they have, and they do have a lot.
Recent games, the Cup game, the Aston Villa game, you have said that the team probably hasn't got what it's deserved, has dominated matches, created chances in the house. Is there a danger that sort of thinking can get to the players as well? They can think things aren't going our way, we're playing well, but we're not getting the result.
That's a fact. That the thing is that we cannot feel sorry for ourselves. We have to design with our hands, and there are certain elements, certain things, certain moments that we have to elevate those standards. So then those margins become huge, and they are a reflection of actually what happened on the pitch.
Okay. Go to Alex on the BBC.
Hi.
I know it's only been a couple of days since we saw you last, but have there been any further plans about the winter break?
No, no further plans, not yet.
And I know you've been asked a lot about the striker, and you said that it has to be right for the club. Does that factor in potentially the summer window and plans that you have long-term about potential new players?
Well, everything has, obviously. You have certain resources, the ability to recruit certain players, to develop certain players, to bring certain players for the academy. So everything, in a positive note as well. We have two of our own players that probably nobody expect to have any participation this year. And they had a lot and a very important one so far. So that's as well a big bonus.
Ian, TalkSport.
Mikel,
Hi, good, thank you.
when you look at bringing in players, so let's say you want to bring in someone to help out because Bukayo Saka is injured. How difficult is it? Because that player knows that the minute Bukayo Saka comes back, Bukayo Saka is going to play.
That's the theory, we don't know for how long and how many games he can play. I think the context has changed a lot. I mean, the amount of games that we have, the intensity, the demands that we put in our players, it's just impossible to think that a player can sustain a position. It's not going to happen.
And we're all asking managers the same sort of questions at the moment regarding transfers because a lot of injuries. Do you think at the end of the season, because of what's happened this year, you managers will get together and try and lobby for bigger squads in future? Because it's clear that the 25-man squads at the moment aren't big enough for what you need them for.
Yeah, but I think we cannot resolve that situation. I think that situation that as well with the Premier League UEFA rules have to be adapted because the schedule is adapted in a really demanding way, but the constraints that the clubs have are more limited, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to continue in the direction that we want, which is towards the best football games that we want, to have players available for the players to extend their careers and maximize their potential and for the show to continue.
Finally, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but I'm expecting your problems with goal scoring not to be a problem tomorrow. Because I looked into the stats, and it's 46 years, so long before you were born, Arsenal last didn't score against Wolves. Wolves won 1-0 at Highbury, that's 1979. So I'm expecting lots of goals from your team tomorrow. So I don't want you to feel under any pressure, but all right?
Yes, thank you for the stuff, but for tomorrow games that doesn't help us, unfortunately.
Put it up in the dressing room.
Good.
Simon from Standard.
Mikel, can I just ask you in terms of, we've spoken a lot about what you're sort of capable of doing, what you can do. If you get players out the door this month, is that a way to increase the capacity of what you could do? Have you given some assurances that money coming in can be used to bolster the squad?
Well, it's all about balance as well, depending which player it is. If that player is a player that obviously gives us space, so it's going to limit it again in a certain position. It all depends. The rules are quite tricky as well. It's not just what you bring or what you sell. It's actually what resources do you have available after that.
Can I ask you about Ben White? I know you said he's a bit short for this week. It sounds like he's progressing quite well.
Very good.
Where is he with his rehab? Could he maybe that Newcastle semi-final?
He hasn't trained with the team yet, but I think he's very close to do that. He needs to still tick a few boxes in the next 2-3 days, and if that's all going well and smoothly, I think he will be with us pretty soon.
Okay, Nick from Haters at the back.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
With so many games on top of each other, do you ever wish you could rotate yourself? Have a little bit of rest.
Me? No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't have to run. It's very different, obviously, the psychological demands and everything that we want to achieve. Obviously, we put the bar really, really high, but it's what I love doing. I'm fine.
But you have to look after yourself, and you have to get extra sleep. Special diet.
Diet, I'm doing good. With the sleep, yeah, I can sleep a little bit more, so I will find the right time to do so.
And just finally, talk about players going out. It looks like one of those players might be the youngster Ayden Heaven. It'd be disappointing to lose one of your own academy products if that happens.
Yeah, and I cannot talk about anything that is individual, and this is not my duty.
Okay, we'll stay at the back with Phil from PA.
Hello.
Just on the title race, obviously it would probably be 9 points if Liverpool win their game in hand. How realistic do you think it is that Arsenal can catch Liverpool? I know there's still a long way to go.
I mean, the margins are really, really small. You could see how things could have gone last weekend, and the turning point are minimals, and the gap suddenly looks very different. We have to be at it. We have to do what is in our hands, and it's still a long, long way to go.
Do you envisage at some stage that they'll have a bit of a sticky patch? Because obviously they've been pretty good so far, but most teams at some stage go through a bit of a difficult spell.
They normally do, so we have to be there, that's for sure.
Okay, Art Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
A couple of Januaries ago when Leo and Jorginho came in, you kind of mentioned the squad was ready to absorb players of maybe a bit of an older age profile. I was just wondering, is that still the case, or has that changed in terms of what the squad can absorb in your opinion?
Yes, it can, because I think you need to find the right chemistry and the right balance in the squad. And that goes with age, that goes with personalities, that goes with characters. That's what with different skill sets to adapt to very different demands that the game can throw at us. So I think the squad is in a good place.
And just with Leo and Martinelli, actually, I think past week's probably been very good for both of them.
Yeah.
A good headache. And with those two, I think they've probably brought a lot more threat to the side. How have you kind of felt their past few weeks a bit?
Yes, very happy, because I think they have made another step forward, that they are impacting the game in a more powerful way, in a consistent way as well. Both of them playing off the left, playing off the right, in the center. So it's a great asset to have, because they are really important, and the fact that both of them now are in a good moment, I think it gives the team a very good threat.
James, ESPN.
Hi. Can
Hi.
I ask you about the market again? Before you stick it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
After the Spurs win, Declan Rice was interviewed on TV. He said, "I'm not surprised if we're going to do something in the market because we had to bring Kieran Tierney on in an unnatural position." Obviously, the players don't call the shots, but have they told you, they talked to you and said, "We feel we need another body, we need someone else"?
Not like that, but I think, we all been there.